All right. The name is Delman doing a review for Noir's new album, Lotus Child. The Lotus Child. This album review is done on behalf of Old Heads Network. All right. Shay has 13 projects since 2019. I first became aware of her in 2020 with her album release of a joint called As God Intended, with this producer named Apollo Brown. It was a very solid to good album. I believe I reviewed it years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And then that made me go back and listen to her joint called Juno that she did with 38 Special. It came out in the same year, but I think it came out before As God Intended. And it was solid, but not as good as God Intended. And that made me a fan of hers pretty quick. I was highly impressed with those two projects. So I've been a supporter. Haven't got all her projects because some of them seem to miss me and go under the radar. And I don't quite know that they out. But the ones that I have, like Food for Thought, Noir or Never, The Last Remnants, I have those projects and those pretty solid joints. She's from Buffalo. You know, Buffalo's doing it big. They got a lot of good artists that's been coming out of Buffalo the last 10 years. You know, the Griseldas and Benny the Butchers and Conways and West Side Gun, etc., etc. And I believe she only like 30 years old as of now. I think she was born in like 1994 or 5, one of those. So she's pretty young. And she's been doing her thing for about the last 5 years. One of the most impressive females from a lyrical standpoint, in my opinion. And she also produces, which was new to me as far as her producing these last, year and a half or two. But I heard that she actually started producing before she went heavy into rapping. So that was a surprise knowing that, because I just assumed she just started producing like in the last 2 or 3 years. But she's pretty good at making beats as well. And what makes this album that I'm about to review special for her is she does most of the production herself outside of one track. Static Selector, who's a great producer in his own right, he produces a joint called Angels for her, and that's the only track she didn't produce. But she does all the rest of the joints, and this is an 8-track album. It's a very short, quick listen. It was only 2 songs that I'm not sure that I like. I'm kind of on the fence with them. One song is called Choices, which is a short but not bad, but I'm not sure if it's something that I'm going to be running every time I play this joint. And then there's another joint called Why's Love or What's Love. It's spelled W-I-S Love. And that's more of a joint where she's talking about a relationship with a particular guy that she's having, like the ups and downs of it. And I love what she writes, the content, and the subject matter. I just didn't care for the singing on the hook. And the singing is not bad. It's not that the singing itself is bad. I just didn't care for the singing on the song itself, if that makes any sense. But there are more songs about this. There's more things about the song that I do like that I don't, should I say. So there was the only 2 questionable songs on the album that I could say. The standout songs on there is Black Girl featuring Rhapsody. It just makes sense for them to do a song together. And both of them do their thing. Rhapsody, she spazzed out on that joint. She got her man. But both of them do their thing on that joint. Then you got another joint called Sister Act. I believe she got video for this joint. And she kills it on there. She has one line where she's comparing Charleston, what's his name? Charleston White. What's that nigga be on the YouTube making all them crazy comments? She compared him to like Uncle Ruckus. That shit was funny. I like that line. And then she got another joint called Guns N' Roses featuring 38 Special, which I thought was a standout joint. And most of the content, I would say, is like life lyrics, you know, with life lessons telling her, telling you about her life, thought-provoking music, I would say, for the most part. You got a few braggadocious joints, but for the most part, I would say is life lyrics. And the production is mainly soulful, laid-back joints, with the chopped up samples, things of that nature. I like the production. And, for Shay, she's not going to get the light that she should because she's not selling sex and she's not making dance music. So she's not going to get the respect that she should and the attention that she should. Maybe she'll get the respect. She'll get the respect from her peers as far as, rap niggas that like lyrics, but she won't get that mainstream light. She's kind of going to get caught up in that kind of void like a Rhapsody has been. And that's unfortunate, but she's one of my favorite MCs right now, and definitely one of my favorite female MCs, I would say. And I would give this album a B-. It's a pretty good joint, well, I should say solid joint, solid to very solid joint. And it's an easy listen. Like I said, it's not a long album to listen to because it only has 8 joints on there, and the songs themselves are not that long. So I definitely recommend you get it and support her. And subscribe to the channel, like, and all that good shit this video. And I'm done and I'm out.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.